Hi everyone, I am Shan.
And I am Tam. This is the Real Talk Podcast.
On this podcast, we have some candid conversations between us about love, family, faith, relationships, parenting, work-life balance, and everything in between.
We invite you to not only listen, but interact with us and our guests as we have some real
Talk. So we're back again, Shan, Tam, fam. Tam and I, each time we come together to talk, it's always something amazing. And just to big it up for International Women's Day that's coming up soon, it's such an inspiring thing when us as women can come together to build each other up and not break each other down.
Yes.
Which we're gonna talk a little bit about some of the positive life affirming things that we carry each day to build us up or to help us to go. So again, tune in, share, like, subscribe, and drop us a comment. And we're eager and open to hear other feedback to other topics that you want us to talk on. So let's get into it.
Absolutely.
So Tam, so this topic is quite an interesting one, especially when you think about what's going on around us in terms of what are some of the positive things that we carry in our spirits each day to build us up. And I don't know, for me, I would say that spirit of resilience, right? That spirit of knowing that, I'm just going through this world. Right. And this is not my home. And at someday, I want to be with Jesus in paradise. I think, and the fact that I want to leave a legacy behind. Right. So what I'm doing now, it's not for me. It's for those that are coming. Those that are coming after me, right? So I need to really work hard to leave that legacy and to push through no matter what. I don't know about you.
Yeah, so your thought actually brings me to two things that I thought about when I was thinking about us talking about this topic. And just so people know too, I just want to say that when we're having these conversations, all we know is what we're going to talk about. We don't have no pre-conversation before the conversation.
Nothing on script, nothing planned. It's just
us,
real raw conversation.
Yeah, it gives us the ability to bring ourselves just naturally to the conversation and for it to develop, right? So two things about what you just said bring me to something that you just said bring me to two thoughts that I had, right? One is that we need to acknowledge our faith unapologetically. And that is something that I've learned only in the last, I would say, couple of years to do. That is a positive thing for me, because here's my thing. On a daily, I encounter so many little obstacles, whether obstacle at work or obstacle in your family life or whatever, you know what I mean? And so I need to, in any situation, be able to say, thank you, Jesus, or Lord, help me here. And you know what? I used to be afraid to say that, even in a professional setting.
I was just going to say that in the corporate world.
Yeah. But I have learned that, or I have adopted the fact that I'm not ashamed of what carries me.
No, you can't be.
I can't be ashamed of it. And, when other people choose to acknowledge whatever their source is, why should I be ashamed or afraid to do that? And it wasn't more about being ashamed. It was kind of more about being afraid, because you don't want offend nobody. But I'm sorry, my faith is what brings me, is what sustains me, is what propels me. And I am not being ashamed to acknowledge that. So, you know, how many people that I work with now know that I know Jesus?
And it's interesting you said that, because I think in the corporate world as well, people, and it's not ashamed, that's what you say. It's more fearful, right? Because you think you know, you step on people's toes, or you know, you're not acting corporate-y, whatever. But listen, I am so unapologetic about that. It's not that I'm pushing anything in anybody's face,
right?
But if other people from other cultures and religion can take the time and do their own worship and prayer, why should I deny my God as a Christian? Right? If I'm going through a tough day at work and I need to take a 5 minute and pause and pray, I'm going to do that. And if I can identify people within my work environment that I know as well that are believers, I'm going to try to rally around them as well and to connect with them for that spiritual growth and that connection, right? Because at the end of the day, you're going to deny who you are, right? You can't deny who you are. You cannot deny the foundation that you stand on. And as I said, it's not that you're pushing anything in anybody's face, but just the mere fact as well, Thomas, how you treat people, how you speak to your colleagues, how you conduct yourself at work as well too. People would know that you're different. People would know that you're different. Right?
So that was the first thing that came to mind when you were talking. And then the other thing you talked about was about giving of yourself. And that was one of the things that I didn't really consciously do, to say make an effort to give of myself. That was something that came about just naturally, you know, in terms of who I am. Me always want to help. Like I always want to help. And I never consciously did it, but I find that I am making an effort to more consciously do that for persons or for causes outside of my immediate view. You know what I mean? And I think it's important for us to do that, because what it does is it stretches you to just to acknowledge that your world is not all there is in this world. Like your world's view is not all there is.
Real talk.
What you're seeing is not the whole world. You know what I mean? And it gives you the opportunity to stretch yourself, to grow in compassion, to grow in empathy, you know, and to recognize other people's circumstances. And I think that is a powerful thing to do. I look at somebody like my mother, who has dedicated her life to giving of herself. I'm gonna tell you, say, like that, just thinking about her wells up so much inside of me that makes me feel good to know that she's living her life in such a way, right? And you talk to her
surface.
Yeah, you know that it's something that it carries her, like it fills her up to carry her every day. So I think the two things there was acknowledging my faith unapologetically and giving of myself, right?
Yeah. Real talk. And that spirit of fighting, right? That especially now, like there's so many things that we come across. We have to have that spirit of, the other day I had to say to myself, and I think we mentioned that the other day too, just get up and do it, right? Get up and do it. Have that spirit that I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to keep on going, right? And to speak life. I know we had our prayer call last night, and this morning I woke up and I wrote my 5 affirmations.
Yes.
the things that I'm thankful for. And I felt so good, right? I felt so good because in spite of everything that's going around us, there's still so much that we're thankful for.
Yeah, we have to be thankful for.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and the affirmations, I did the same thing too. That meeting that we had last night was powerful. And the first thing I did, as our leader had guided us into doing, was when I opened my eyes and I was conscious of my breath, I said, "Thank you, Lord."
Thank you, Lord.
Because
Thank you, Lord.
I was awake, I was alive. But you talked about affirmations, and that was one of the other things that I find positively carries me. Is the affirmations. I've learned to do affirmations, especially in situations that I'm uncomfortable in. So, me and the public speaking, not the greatest.
You're nervous.
I'm nervous.
But you're good. You're really good.
Let me and you have a conversation one-on-one in front of nobody, because even in spaces where oftentimes my husband and I will go out and he's the social butterfly. He talks to everybody and he gets in there and he's like, all over. And I will sit back and I'll wait for somebody to bring the conversation to me, because me not go, they're gonna look feet.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
But I've learned, and then speaking in open spaces, public spaces and stuff is not one of the things that I really like doing. But I've learned to tell myself now, I'm like, you can do this. There is no fear. You are capable. You know what I mean? So that is something that I've had to learn to do, which I think helps me. It has helped me so much.
And you carry that with you, right?
Yeah, I carry that with me.
Yeah, and we all have the things that we're fearful of, you know what I mean? We all have the things that we struggle with, but we just have to try to remember the things that we use to counteract that we carry that through daily, right? And I think a part of that as well too is having positive people around you.
Yes.
Right. And I know we just spoke about it. When you don't see the good in yourself, there's others that do see it as well, or others that see the things in you that you don't necessarily see. Right. I'm not gonna, some days, I think I'm feeling miserably at parenting, right?
Yeah.
But then it takes someone to say, no, you're doing the best you can. And you've done so much, you left no stones unturned.
Yeah.
Because it is a hard thing, right?
It's a hard journey.
Yeah, it is a hard journey. And some days you just feel like you're feeling miserably, but you need those people around you that will also build you up, right? I will never forget this when I was in primary school and my at the valedictorian speech, and my teacher, Miss Gaina, she was so amazing. She said, friends are like the buttons on an elevator. They can either take you up or down. Right? So the friends that you have can either bring you down a path that is not necessarily good for you, or bring you up and positively speak life in you and encourage you to do the right thing and to make the right choices. Real talk.
Yeah, I agree. And in addition to having those people around you that you love, I think it's also important for you to tell those people what they mean to you and how much you appreciate them and what they do for you. I think that's an important part of maintaining that aura of love and acceptance and encouragement and everything that can help to just continue to get you moving one more step every day. How much people I have, some core people that I work with, as stakeholders in my job. And I tell them all the time, after we've consulted about cases and done whatever, I tell them all the time, I appreciate you so much, because you know what? this is a part of my job that I couldn't do without you.
Without you. Yeah.
You know, like even in that setting. And we talked the other day about people who, even the cleaner at the office. Thanks.
Oh yes. Oh
for
yes.
cleaning the place. Yeah. Tell people how much you appreciate them. Your immediate family, your friends, your partners, you know. And in extension of that, people in general. Be kind. Yeah, I think it's important.
Real talk.
Real talk.
There's so much we can say about this topic, but I would say that's the one thing for me is just to continue to push through the power of prayer, right? That we hold to be such a major part of our life and something that we carry with us daily. Even sometimes when we don't want to pray, it's important for us, even if we don't have the words, just to be still with God. Just to be still with God and be at his feet. And that's one of the things that I try to carry with me every day is the gift of prayer. Is a gift of prayer and the gift of really being at one with God. You know, today was such a good day because, you know, after lunch and stuff, I had the opportunity to just rest. I read a bit, I read for a little bit, and I just laid there and I just reflected on everything I read, and I slept. And one of the things, our book that we're going through, Tam, and it was talking about the soul and the body. And I'm pretty sure you read this part, and it's like the soul is such a major part of us. It's such a important part of us. That's why sometimes you're in room with people and you feel the negative energy or the energy because of how important the soul is. And when it says God refreshes your soul, going through the psalm, right? So that whole gift of prayer and being still with God is something that I aspire to take with me throughout each day because it's so important.
And for me, you taught me or exposed me to that, the purpose of prayer. And that was one of the points that I wanted to bring. It's so funny how these conversations just kind of meld into one another, right?
Yes.
The things that we talk about, because my thing was, one of my points was that we need to be open to learn from the people, from others, from people around us. And I feel that we are, I pride myself in being what I call a continuous learner, because I know that as a growing, evolving being, as a right, I cannot know everything. There is always an opportunity for me to know or to learn something. And I can choose to learn those positive things that will help to enhance my journey. And I need to be open to that. So, for instance, when you had approached me and asked me years ago, what's your prayer life like? You want to join, you want us to get together with a group of ladies to do some prayer, like I'm doing that. You want to be a part of it? Suppose me say no.
Exactly. You never know what would have happened right now.
Exactly, because it's only prayer that has brought me through some things over the last couple of years. So, you know, my point is be open to learn. And that's one of the positive things that I bring with me every day, that just be open. No matter things say, this is who I am, me a 40-year-old, me a 50, me a 60, me, you know what I mean?
Like, and that's what I'm going to say. You're never too old to learn.
You're never too old. Be open to learning. And the last thing that I had on my list of things to, in terms of the positive things, was also just be reflective. And I think you touched on this a little bit, right? You know, think about where you have been, what some of the things that may have happened, and how can you, or is there stuff for you to change? What can you do? And also, again, that's a part of the learning and growing process. So don't be afraid to reflect, but do it in a way that is meaningful. And it's not for you to stay there and to mourn about having the regrets or, Lord, me did this or whatever.
Yes.
It's an opportunity for you to do something different. So that's what I wanted to say about that.
Exactly. This was a good conversation, Tam.
Yeah, I loved it.
See,
we always learning from each other.
I know, always learning.
So we hope that, you have some positive things that you are taking with you every day to kind of help you move through this journey of life.
Yes.
Positive, life-affirming things, building yourself up, building up others around you. We hope that you can take something away from what we have said today. If it's something that you haven't done yet, maybe you could try one of our positive things and enhance the journey of life. So we will talk to you again next time on Real Talk. Keep listening.
Yes.
Keep sharing. Subscribe to our Facebook page. Yes, like it and drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. We'll talk to you again next time, fam. You take care.
Bye for now.
Don't forget to visit Shan and Tam on all their social media websites. At Sisters Shan and Tam on Instagram, Shan Tam Lodge-Lee on Facebook, and check out their blogs at shanandtam.blogspot.com. Tune in again next time on Real Talk.